Okay, so for this shape, we need to find the value of x. If we look at the shape, we can see here and here, these sides are equal, which makes it an isosceles triangle, which means that this angle here has to be the same as that angle there, so they're both x. We can then use the angle sum in a triangle to give us 2x plus 35 is equal to 180 degrees. At this point, we can choose to use the nSolve tool. So with your calculator, press menu 3-1, we pull up nSolve. We can write 2x plus 35 is equal to 180. Then press comma and say solve for the variable x. Type this one in. There we get our answer. This implies that x is equal to 72.5 degrees.
How did you get the equals sign?
I press the equals button here. There's the equals button. Let's try another equation. So find the measure of all the angles in the parallelogram shown. Well, what we can say firstly is these two angles are going to be supplementary because they're co-interior angles in the parallelogram, which means that 2x plus 114 plus x is equal to 180 degrees. Put this into the calculator at this point, menu 3-1 using nSolve. We have 2x plus 114 plus x equals 180 degrees, comma, solve for the variable x, 22. This implies x equals 22. Read the question again. Find the measure of all of the angles in the triangle, in the parallelogram. So let's sketch up the parallelogram like this. This angle here is going to be 2x, so 2 times 22. So it's going to be 44 degrees. This one's going to be the same. The other angle is 114 plus 22. So 136 for this one, 136, and this one has to be the same. So when you do a problem like this, or the harder problems where you're finding the x, make sure you read the question at the end and check what the question is asking you to do, and make sure you do what the question asks. One other thing I want to sort of show about nSolve. nSolve seems really great. nSolve seems really great. Let's say I insert the page after this one. Let's say I wanted to use it to solve the equation x squared plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. So if I wanted to solve this, this is a quadratic, and what I've shown you to do in the past for this one is to use menu 3-3-1. We type in the coefficients, which are 1, 1, and negative 6. Notice it will give us two answers, minus 3 and 2. So if you've got a quadratic equation, you should use a polynomial tool solver to solve it. It's the best approach. nSolve will cause you problems. So menu 3-1 with nSolve. We could try it. It gives us x squared plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. Solve for the variable x. Notice it gives me one answer. One of the things when using nSolve you must remember is it's only going to give you one answer. And it's going to give you the answer that is closest to 0. If you can then interpret where to find the other answers are if you understand the function and understand the equation a little bit. So let's say, for instance, we take that one, and we take this equation. So this one, we get x is equal to minus 3 and x is equal to 2. And nSolve only gives you that one. I take the same equation, just change it a little bit like this. Do that with the polynomial root solver. Change that to a minus. We lost our square. Notice that the answers now are x equals minus 2, x equals 3. We try it with nSolve. Notice it only gives me one answer this time. It's giving me this one this time. The reason being, nSolve will always give you the answer which is closest to zero. nSolve will give you the answer which is closest to zero. If you know there's another answer, you can tell nSolve to go looking for it. We'll look at this in more detail later. But just to give you a show you. So for instance, for this one, we know there's an answer when it's equal to 3. So what we can do is we can tell nSolve 2 extra parameters. Look in the interval from 0, let's say up to 10. So here I'm giving it the parameters, extra 2 parameters using a comma, and I put a number, lower bound of the interval, upper bound. And this is saying to nSolve, look for an answer in this region. If there is an answer in that region, it will give you it. It will give you the first answer it gets. If there's 2 answers in that region, it'll give you the first answer it gets. If there are no answers in the region, say we tell it to go in this interval now, looking there, it will just say no solutions found. It means there's no answers in that. Okay, let me stop there on that one.